Yo, fantasy community, welcome to Proper Things, the FPL show brought to you by the TT FPL Pro-League, episode 10. And this last week, it was a story of surviving the Newcastle defense. As if you were lucky, you only collected 12 from Botman, or maybe just 18 from Trippier, but for those who are in the same boat as me, you collected a cool 30 right to the gut. So it was tough viewing for the final game of Game Week 6. But here on Proper Things, the show must carry on. So, of course, we give you all the review of Game Week 6, the preview of the upcoming fixtures in Game Week 7, and the Proper Things segment, where we give you all those picks that you all need to better your fantasy teams. So, without further ado, let's get into things with the review of Game Week 6. The first game gave us another dogfight for Ezra as Crystal Palace drew 0-0 with Fulham. Wolves and Luton surprisingly drew 1-1 thanks to a red card from Bellegarde of Wolves that took the initiative away from the away side. Luton getting their first points here. Man City defeated Forest 2-0. Rodri and that red card probably gave a lot of Alvarez owners the heartache as he was substituted early and only returned 1 point. The curse continues for the most transferred-in player. Everton surprised the Honeybees of Brentford by beating them to the tune of 3-1. Dominic Calvert-Lewin returning with a goal. Manchester United narrowly squeaked past Burnley 1-0. No real confidence yet in United from the fan base, but 3 points nonetheless. The North London Derby served up goals, but no winners, as Saka scored but could not deliver the 3 points as Son delivered a double 2-2 in the North London Derby. Brighton defeated Bournemouth 3-1. Matoma coming off the bench to score 2 second-half goals and leading the Seagulls to yet another 3 points. Aston Villa defeated relegation team Chelsea 1-0 as the Blues sink to a new low. Pochettino on the hot seat. Hopefully they could get 3 points this upcoming week. Liverpool won yet again to the score of 3-1. Mo Salah with an early penalty. Darwin and Jota sealing the 3 points for the Reds. And the final game served up a thorough beating when Newcastle trashed the Blades 8-0 away from home with 8 different goal scorers, each registering that goal. So it again did not feel like watching that game, could not stomach it, but those were the results or the review of Game Week 6. So Saturday morning kicks off early with Aston Villa versus the Seagulls. I have the Seagulls winning this game 2-1. I also have Arsenal defeating the Cherries 3-0. Everton should also register back-to-back victories by beating Luton 2-1 in that one. I have United squeaking past Crystal Palace by the same scoreline of 2-1. Newcastle continued to roll with a comfortable 3-0 win versus Burnley. West Ham should get past Sheffield, not by 8 goals this week, but by 2-0. Manchester City 3-1 over Wolves, no commentary needed there. Liverpool again continue their winning ways, again with a 3-1 win versus Tottenham. I have the Honeybees rebounding after a shock loss to win 2-1 against Forest. Chelsea have to wait another week for a W as they draw 1-1 with Fulham this week. And Burnley defeat Luton to the tune of 2-1 in the mid-week clash, or the second of their double game week fixtures this game week. So those were the goat mouth predictions for Game Week 7. Now we move into the main course of the show, or the Proper Things segment. I know this is the segment where most of the viewers tune into to see the picks that you all should have in your team. So let's get into things with the Proper Things picks for this week. These are the picks that should be in your team right now and going forward. These are the centerpieces that are the must-haves in your fantasy team. So last week, the proper things pick in defense was one Fabian Shaw, who returned 6 points, a clean sheet. You know, the much-owned Newcastle defense is in high demand right now. The proper things defender pick for game week 7 is his captain, or probably the hottest defender, probably going to be struck by the curse, but this is a guy that you have to have in your team. And that is Kieran Trippier, coming in at 6.6. Currently, we may see another rise in price before this game week begins, but Kieran Trippier already started the favourable fixture that Newcastle has going forward with a major bang to the tune of 18 points. I know it was like a knockout blow for owners like myself who did not have the Toon captain in your team, and we were made to pay big and dearly. So definitely Kieran Trippier, your proper things defender pick for game week 7. Last week, I said that the king is back and should be in your team going forward, and he repaid the fate to his owners to the tune of a double-digit figure of 10 points. You know, the king doing king things. And this week's proper things midfielder pick is one who's called the face of the Premier League in Saka at 8.7 million. But breaking news just a minute ago before filming, I'm seeing rumors of Saka may not be able to answer the call this game week versus the Cherries. So definitely one to keep an eye on. But Arsenal do have the fixture, and Saka does have the form and the opportunity to return big this game week, and most likely he's already in your team. So I would definitely keep an eye to see how this story develops throughout the week and check on the fitness of Starboy Saka. And if he's not available for Bournemouth, might just have to make a move. But right now, Saka is your proper things midfielder pick for game week 7. If he isn't able to answer the call though, I have to recommend his captain in Martin Odegaard, although I do fancy Saka a whole lot more than Odegaard, but I do believe Arsenal win this game, and if Saka again is not able to answer the call, Martin Odegaard would definitely be a more than worthy deputy for the Starboy. So Saka, your proper things pick, but if the injury concerns are serious, I would make the switch to Martin Odegaard. And finally, the proper things forward pick last week was one Julian Alvarez, but the Argentine, or the Spider, could not beat the curse as they got him as well. And Rodri did a mad thing and choked out, I believe it was Morgan Gibbs-White, got a red card, got sent off, and Pep did his little changes, and the Spider was sacrificed to fit the City team as they were 2-0 up to fit the new formation. So Julian Alvarez 1 point. But this week's proper things forward pick is the man who has a double game week. And the way I see it is Morris versus Burnley is already a premium fixture for Morris, as he's locked in on penalties for Luton, and versus Burnley, it's going to be a firecracker of a game midweek between two of the relegation candidates. And Morris has a huge opportunity to return only in the Burnley game. But the bonus of Morris this week is you get a free roll versus Everton. A free roll in 90 minutes where he could get one chance and possibly punish his non-owners right now, as he could slot one past Jordan Pickford, or maybe someone wins a penalty versus Everton and you get a free one-on-one versus Pickford with Morris. So Morris this week is definitely a proper things forward pick, as I believe this is one of the game weeks where you could earn big points on him right now. And especially for those who had him last week, you already saw what he could do as he returned 9 points. So Morris, definitely the proper things pick for this week. And of course, we have to mention Erling Haaland, 92 plus ownership in fantasy right now. I think he set the record of being the most captain player ever in any game week in FPL. So, Haaland is always a proper things forward pick this season, but we had to highlight Morris this week. So, those were the proper things picks for game week 7. Now we progress to the needle mover picks for this game week. And needle movers is a segment where we highlight the picks that could give you a jolt in rank, as these are for the aggressive players who are looking to throw a jab or throw a punch versus their opponents and get the upper hand. It might be a quick play or a one and done, but these are the players that could give you that jolt that your team needs. So for my aggressive players out there, let's get into things. So last week's needle mover defender pick was one Kilman. Again, another red card. Spoiled the fun as Bellegarde. Got a red for the Wolves. Neto did score to give them that 1-0 lead, but a tough penalty call on Morris, slotting pass. Jose Sa wiped the clean sheet, so Kilman only returned 2 points. But this week's defender pick is a surefire one to help raise rank, as it's a guy who has the double game week in Kabore, and he's someone that everyone in the game can afford. So why I like Kabore this week is because he plays Burnley this week, and not only is he a defender, he seems to be a very attacking one at that too. So it's a premium fixture versus Burnley in midweek. He can sneak a clean sheet and possibly an attacking return, and you get a free fixture versus Everton, where if Luton do get a clean sheet, you'll get 6 points, or at least 2 points, maybe one if Everton run up the scoreline, but it's a free roll, or a free roll of the dice, as they say. And Kabore has not been in the is not in the starting 11 for the Carling Cup game at the time of recording, so extra rest for the double game week. So definitely a needle mover for game week 7. I also have to mention this guy as a bonus needle mover defender this week, and this is Ben Chilwell. I know. Might say, let me cut off the video right now. This guy don't know what he's talking about. But I have to mention Ben Chilwell, as he's not a guy I will be buying this game week. But needle movers is not about buying players. It's about players who could help raise your rank or a 1 week punt. And give me a second to explain the Ben Chilwell needle mover pick. So for my Ben Chilwell owners, especially those who unfortunately have him and Nico Jackson in their team currently, because I know there are a few of you, and the time you're watching this video, if you still have Ben Chilwell, because I already know the exodus of sales has begun, whether it be for Ben Chilwell to a Luton defender like Kabore, or to a Newcastle defender such as Botman, or if you have the money, Trippier. It's already been made to catch the price rises or price drops. But if you have Chilwell at the time of viewing this video, this is an opportunity to take a big shot here. And this is again for the aggressive players. And this is my train of thought with the Ben Chilwell this week. With Malo Gusto suspended and missing time for Chelsea, this is a opportunity for Ben Chilwell to finally be back in the starting lineup. And this week Chelsea tackled Fulham. While I do believe that Fulham will score on Chelsea, maybe I am wrong and Chelsea sneak a clean sheet and Ben Chilwell returns 6 points. Or maybe for some reason he gets an attacking return. But if he starts this week and looks good, Chelsea play Burnley in game week 8. And if you have him this game week and he looks good and he returns, you would want him for the game next game week versus Burnley, as Malo Gusto will still be suspended. And that is what we call a 2-week window there to get the upper hand with a player like Ben Chilwell. Again, this is not a guy I recommend buying. And if you have to move him on to cover the Newcastle defense, whether it be to Botman or Trippier, no one will say anything about it. But this is needle movers. And I do think you have an opportunity to take a shot here with Ben Chilwell. So special mention to Ben Chilwell in the needle mover picks this game week. Now we move on to the needle mover midfielder picks. And last week, I recommended two guys in Rashford and Mitoma. And I said if these two highly owned players are already in your team, you should look into Neto. So we went 2 out of 3 there with Mitoma 14, Neto also scoring, but unfortunately Rashford blanking. So this game week, the needle mover midfielders are James Ward-Prowse, GWP, and Anthony Gordon. James Ward-Prowse comes in at 6.2 mil and Gordon at 5.6. So two different prices there for two different ranges of players. I love James Ward-Prowse this game week because he plays Sheffield and he's on the set pieces. And we already saw what Kieran Trippier did to them last week with the corners. And it was some nasty stuff. And you already know James Ward-Prowse from the free kick position is almost like any other player with a penalty kick. This boy is prolific, probably the best pure free kick taker in Premier League history. So James Ward-Prowse, GWP, is a definite needle mover for this upcoming game week. And Anthony Gordon did not initially start the Newcastle versus Sheffield beatdown, but he came on early due to injury from Harvey Barnes, which should see Barnes miss this game week as well. So Anthony Gordon should be in line for another start. And Anthony Gordon is in a purple patch right now, another premium fixture versus Burnley this game week. So Anthony Gordon seems to be a guy that you could bring in 1 week early ahead of your rivals and take that shot with him to raise your rank immediately. So Anthony Gordon also a needle mover midfielder pick for game week 7. Now we move to the needle mover forward picks. And last week we swung hard and we missed, kind of like TKR in the CPL final. You know, it was a big miss there with Hoyland returning the paltry 2 points from Manchester United. He looked good, but still looking good doesn't give you fantasy points. However, this week's needle mover forward picks are one, Gabi Jesus, coming in at 7.9 million, and Dominic Calvert-Lewin DCL at 5.8. They have two strikers with two different price ranges. I like Gabi Jesus this game week as Arsenal take on Bournemouth. I do believe Arsenal will beat the Cherries after a disappointing 2-2 draw versus Spurs, as Arsenal fans would say at home. I think they rebound and they capture the W in this one with Gabi Jesus playing a key role and returning at least one attacking return, possibly two, versus the Cherries. So needle mover forward pick Gabi Jesus, as well as Dominic Calvert-Lewin scoring in his return for Everton as they shocked the Honeybees 3-1 last game week. Looked sharp, replacing Beto around the 60-minute mark. I think he is in line for a start this weekend, with the game versus Luton being one of those games you always like to target. And I believe that Dominic Calvert-Lewin could reward those who take that initiative to bring him in for that 1 week punt with some attacking returns. So the needle mover forward picks for this game week are Gabi Jesus and Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Next up, we have the spilled milk picks for game week 7. These are the picks or the players that should not be in your team right now, and if you have them, you should be looking to move them on for better assets or better players. Last week we went 3 for 3 in this category here as the spilled milk defender pick. Last week was a goalkeeper in Turner. You know, those who trying to be cheeky and play Turner in a rotation role and try to get those clean sheets, try to chinks their way to a clean sheet. Well, I think the Turner era is done. Last week he returned 1 point, but it doesn't look very prosperous for his future endeavors. This week's spilled milk defender pick is a simple one in Malo Gusto. I think the Malo Gusto train is closed, crashed and burned, no survivors. Currently at 4.3 million, so those who got him at the 4.0 mark, you could take your 0.1 profit and run. I don't see Malo playing a crucial role in Chelsea's defense going forward, as not only suspended until after the international break, but Reece James should also be back by then. and will resume his position at the right back of Chelsea's defense, the captain, of course. And until then, we wait to see how long Reece James' body allows him to play. But right now, Malo Gusto, it's funky, definite spilled milk defender pick for Game Week 7. Next, we move into midfield where we had Ezra as the midfielder spilled milk pick last week. I know there was some pushback on this one as everyone was saying Ezra had the premium fixture, the premium XG, eye test, he was on penalties and everything. But like I said last week, I don't believe in Ezra or Crystal Palace anymore, and you should be looking to move Ezra immediately if you still have him. This week's midfielder spilled milk pick is one Solly March, the right side of the Seagulls attack. I think the Seagulls are one of the hottest teams in the Premier League, again winning 3-1 last game week, but Solly March is one of those players who is in and out of the Brighton team, whether it be for injury or maybe tactical from Robert De Zerbi. And since there are a lot of alternatives in the Brighton team, I don't want to have an asset where I have to worry about if he gets the start or if he plays each game week. You know, one of my friends started March and took a chance by putting Son on the bench, and he was so happy when March didn't play and he got the Son points. But I think March's time in the spotlight has come to an end, so Solly March, the spilled milk midfielder pick for Game Week 7. Now we move on to the striking department or the forward department. And last week, like I said, the whole fantasy community rejoiced when I said I recommend selling Nico Jackson, as it's done. There's no pulse left from young Nico, and I was 100% right, as Nico not only did not score, return assist or anything, he also got that 5th yellow card, which means he's suspended for this game week. So if you didn't listen to the advice last game week and kept him to be a little cheeky or a little fancy, or to just be stubborn and show people that you want that Nico Jackson brand, you were meant to feel the pain. And now you have to move him this game week, as he will not be playing any part versus Fulham. So enough said on that. Now this week's spilled milk pick is a guy who was lighting up the fantasy for the first 5 game weeks. So unfortunately, in game week 6, he blanked as his team drew 0-0 with Fulham. That's Edward, of course, or Ezra's partner in crime. I wouldn't say in crime because Edward has actually been doing really well. But Crystal Palace, I don't really like the fixtures going forward, and unfortunately now Edward is flagged with a hamstring injury, so we don't know how hamstring injuries could linger throughout the season. So if you do have Edward, this is an opportunity to take your points, smile, laugh, and run, as the table may be turning on the Edward train right now. So unfortunately, that injury and the fixtures makes Edward the spilled milk forward pick for Game Week 7. Now we move on to the wondering picks for Game Week 7. These are the picks that you should keep your eye on to make a move in the upcoming game weeks. And last week's wondering defender pick was Raya, just to see if he would get the start in the North London Derby. He did, and he looked pretty good, although he did concede 2 goals, but he did make 3 saves, so 2 points nonetheless. So this week's wondering defender pick is one Pedro Porro from Tottenham Hotspurs, coming in at 5 mil. I think this is a great week to keep your eye on Porro as they play Liverpool. I don't recommend bringing him this game week, but Spurs do play Luton in game week 8, and that is a prime fixture for one Pedro Porro, as he's a guy that, somehow finds himself in the opposition box and is a likely candidate to take a shot. And of course, he's the right back, so he may, whip in a cross and get an assist. So Pedro Porro is your wondering defender pick for Game Week 7. And last week's midfielder wondering pick was Pedro Neto. He looked good, scored a goal, and returned 9 points for his owners. And he's definitely one we can't bring into your team to facilitate the Mo Salah train right now. As you know, Mo Salah, when you bring him in, you need to make some tough decisions and some cuts. So Pedro Neto just covered himself in glory last week with a brilliant performance. And this week's wondering pick is Raheem Sterling. And I know the talk of the town right now is just to get rid of all Chelsea picks. And I have Raheem Sterling in the wondering pick category this week, not as one to bring in as an asset, but one that if he's in your team, you give him this game week and keep an eye on him, as you may have more pressing issues. Of course, with whether you have Nico Jackson or want to do something in defense, and if Saka is unable to play. I know he's not, when Chelsea on the whole have not scored a goal since they defeated Luton 3-0. You know, no goals of the month this month so far for them, but Sterling is a guy, if you already have him in your team, you have to at least give him versus Fulham, I believe. So keep your eyes on Raheem the Dream, or the Snake as some call him, and you can make a call in the next game week or the upcoming game weeks. As we all know, Chelsea assets expire at midnight after game week 8, as the schedule takes a dark turn. I know, I think it's like 7 games, you might see 7 L's in a row for Chelsea. So Raheem the Dream Sterling is your wondering midfielder pick for game week 7. And finally, the wondering striking or forward pick for this game week is Ollie Watkins, as I believe Villa is about to experience what we call a purple patch of games coming forward, as only greens or premium fixtures are ahead for them. And Ollie Watkins did break the drought last game versus Chelsea to finally get his first goal in the Premier League. So maybe this is a sign that the floodgates are about to open for the young English hitman ahead of the international break in 2 more Prem game weeks. So maybe he may want to get that call up from Southgate, although it's really hard with Kane doing a set of madness over there in Germany. But Ollie Watkins is definitely a forward wondering pick for this game week. And we got no answers from the forward wondering pick of last game week. As I said, I wanted to see who would get the snaps in Newcastle in their forward line. Of course, Wilson started the game and scored. Isaac came off the bench and also scored. So they returned 6 and 5 points respectively. But still no real answer to who the main man is there for Newcastle. So if you go in there, you go in there with God and with your intuition. So best of luck deciphering Eddie Howe going forward. So those were your picks for the proper things segment this game week. All the best of luck. Last week we went 8 for 12 in this segment. Hopefully we return 12 for 12. You know, and we're very excited to see what happens in game week 7. So don't forget, if you like the picks or if you have any problem with the picks, to leave a comment in the comment section, to like the video, and of course subscribe to the channel. We appreciate all the support we get in, and I appreciate all the banter and all the feedback. So looking forward to hearing from all the viewers this upcoming game week and about all the picks this week. Now we move into the hot take discussion for this game week. And the question posed by one of the viewers was, is the double game week a trap or treasure? And I know what the viewer meant by this question, as we have seen some of the smaller teams, if I may, have that impromptu double game week. And a lot of us, including myself in the past, have fallen into the trap of looking at the 2 game weeks and just giving the captaincy to one of those players, or as we call the Veghorst and Dennis Chronicles of past years. I know some people remembering that play they made and do a little spit on the side there. I hope you all didn't spit in the living room or in or your house or on work or anything. But if you all did fall into those traps, just remember it wasn't you alone, as those were 2 popular picks for those game weeks in those past seasons. This game week, the Morris pick mirrors the nightmares of the past, as some say. Like, I have the same person saying, yeah, I like Morris this week, but that Veg horse and those Dennis picks just leave a bad taste in my mouth. And this double game week or these mini double game weeks is a trap now. So my answer to those who were interested in getting this question answered and to the viewer himself, I have to say that yes, these double game weeks are a trap if you're looking to bring in multiple assets to capitalize on this one game week. But if you were someone who planned for this mini game week or this double game for Luton and Burnley by bringing in Morris ahead of time, then no, it's not a trap, as you already have Morris, and you may say, I want to bring in a little Kabore or maybe to bring in one of the Burnley assets, although I would not recommend Morris and a Burnley striker or a Burnley forward or a Burnley midfielder. You know, you could be a little cheeky and want to try your hand at a Burnley defender, saying Luton going to blank. But I will not maximize assets or a 3 spot in this double game week, because it's okay to take one shot, but not a captaincy shot, unless, you know, you just say you're ahead of the template right now, you're ahead of the game and you want to push your initiative to the max right now, or you just need something to make you feel like you're playing fantasy, then alright, you could take those shots. But if you're just playing the game the way you want to play the game right now, I will not recommend taking multiple shots or going a captaincy with Morris, as these are the kind of shots or plays that you look back and say, yeah, you fell into the trap. Good luck this game week. Again, I do like Morris this week. Hopefully, he does not fall to the curse of the most transferred in players. He's a candidate for that position this game week, but all the best to everyone who is taking those shots with those assets. So, ladies and gentlemen, you know this is my favorite part of the show. This is where I get to see who doing well and then make out the people who not doing too well. But you're seeing that I get a call from upstairs from the boss, and we have a special guest in the building. So before I introduce him, this is the official race for the 10K segment. And well, with us today, of course, is the man himself, the creator of the TT FPL Pro-League, Ezra Ramdeen. How are you doing today, sir?
Yeah, man, good. Good night, everybody. Good night, Michael. Good night, audience, everybody that watching. Glad to be on the show here to present this race for the 10K here, man. Things hitting up.
Well, ladies and gents who viewing, you know, last time we checked in with Ezra, he wasn't doing so hot now, you know, wasn't doing so good on the table, but he gave me the call today and he tell me he would do the 10K segment today. So without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to the man himself, Ezra. So tell the people what's going on in the TT FPL Pro-League.
Yeah, man, I would have come on earlier and do the segment, but as let's see, my rank wasn't looking too good in earlier game weeks, but looking like respectable this week. So I said I'm gonna jump on the show one time and see what's going on here. So, well, at number one here in the race for the 10K, who leading the race at 407 points, a 76-point game week this week is none other than the Duck himself, Dr. Phil Foden. Top of the league for 3 weeks straight. Everybody's saying that he's the man to beat. He's going to be tough to overtake, and it's looking like that. The first guy to stay top for back-to-back weeks, and he went on and turned it to 3 weeks now. So back-to-back, let me just take a quick look at his team here. He had Ariola in goal. Not getting anything from his keeper, but a full returns from the back in Estupinian at a 6-pointer, Botman at a 12-pointer, and Matty Cash at another 6-pointer here. So full returns from the defenders here, and some big scores in midfield as well. He had Bruno Fernandes for his 10 points, Salah for his 10 points, and he also had Saka. A lot of people had Saka for his 13 points all, and also Haaland captain for his 12 points. So everybody has blanking, unlucky blank from Julian Alvarez and Mbeumo. I think they could have gotten some for that game. So all in all, average, probably just above average score from him this week, but solid weeks going all from all the game weeks before, cements his place in first in the TT FPL Pro-League. So as of this moment, the $10,000 going to the Duck, but we'll see how that goes in game week 7 if he could hold on again.
But Ezra, I know doctors, he had to take a little day off, but like this doc, Phil Fournier, he working every day for the last 3 weeks, man. You can't, no on him right now, no?
Yeah, nobody could put finger on him and try to see, as all they could see in all the other positions in the top 10, you're seeing switching and changing and a lot of different new names. But this guy is staying consistent for the past 3 weeks, and the Duck is on top, man. The Duck is on top. The one to beat. Second place, we have Andrew Roberts and Awick. A 78 point score for him. He is just 4 points behind the Duck. So the Duck have a nice little 4 point lead on him. Johnson 8 points on the bench though, so he could have done better. Awick could have been top of the league this game week. He could have surpassed the Duck if he played Johnson instead of Flecken, but he didn't go for that. And we all know FPL is a brutal game, so he stays in second in that. And then rounding off the top 5, we have Brandon Will dropping 1 point. He was our second place last game week. We goes into third place this game week, and we have a new person into the top 10. Symbol of Fortune, a Lion King, 88 point game week, 401 points, with Mark My Words breaking the 100 point barrier this game week. Let me take a look at our team now, man. We have to take a look at our team. 106 points from Mark My Word brought him into the top 10 places. He wasn't anywhere near the top 10 places last game week, but this game week,
last team here, I'm feeling sick in Ezra.
yeah, look at that back line. Botman 12 points, Trippier 18 points, Walker 11 points. What else you could ask for from a defense? I looking like there are 3 strikers up top, there are 3 defenders.
Only sickness for everybody else winning the back leg.
Yeah, and Salah with his 10 points. You also had Salah, his 10 points. Matuma's 14 points he had. He had Saka's 13 points, and as well Gordon for his 12 points. And nobody else, I sure had Gordon. So good play from Mark My Words. He also had Haaland as his captain, 12 points. If he had captain anybody else on his team, he might end up first.
But thanks for giving me a blighty by Mark My Words, boy. We appreciate it.
Yeah, definitely want to look out for Mark My Words. Pelican Bay in 6th position. As a little cousin doing big things, boy. A little cousin.
Yeah, man.
Things. I seeing him.
Shout out to America's always watching on to the shows, man. Appreciate the support.
Yeah, appreciate the support, man. And we go into 7, Bamboo United, Trentpool FC, Game of Stones, and Nova Torian rounding out the top 10 of the league. So competition looking stiff. And if you look at from number 5 to number 10, there's only 1 point going down the road. 398, 97, 96, 95.
Like Ezra, boy. The competition too stiff, and I can't even make a little showing in the top 10 right now, man.
Yeah,
That's just
well, that's how it is. That's how we wanted. This is, as we say, this is the TT FPL Pro-League. Some really, really good managers, top class managers in the league here. This is the golden standard for FPL leagues in the country, and we expect nothing less than stiff competition. So going down here a little bit, we see in the Legacy 10X, man, in number 15, they get a little red arrow this week, man. What went on there?
And I want to know what went on there. The Newcastle beat down on Sheffield as well went down there. The 8-0. You know, things was looking good going into the last game. I say to myself, you know what? I could get Trippier a little 9 points, a little 10 points. I could get Botman a clean sheet. When I do check the score, 18 for Trippier, 12 for Botman, 30 men playing up there, and I have nothing. I say, way boy.
Going down the league a little bit, we see in Mason Mo, FPL Marco in 16 points, in 16 positions, sorry. In 26th, I see it. Me in 26 here, man. The Gaza Chubs tied with Havon, Jota Clue in 26th position. So let me take a look at my team. As I say, I was third bottom after game week 3 or game week 2.
Ezra, you were so far down. The viewers say you're going on. Can't have you on the show right now, and you are going to sort out yourself. So I tell them, here we're going on. The man is a big player. I will talk to him directly, and in a few weeks he coming back. And you see, the man come with a big smile now. So let's see what Ezra is doing right now.
Yeah, I stopped the I had a bad start to the game this season, but as we say, FPL is a 38 game week game, so happy to be in a better position here now, 26th. And goal I had Leno for his 10 points. Leno was a good pick. See, last week and this week, Leno really built me out a lot. A good pick. We had Vardiol for his 7 points. Got Vardiol happy he got the start against Nottingham first and got them points. Estupinian and also Trippier. I had give you some props for this Trippier pick, because I remember one more wild card I had Botman, and I send this man, I say Michael on our private note, I send him my wild card team, and I say Michael, how this team looking, boy? And the boy say, you might wanna get, because I had Botman. He say if you had extra money to spend it on Trippier, because you just never know how them game mixes, how the good run of fixtures will be going and how Trippier you might want to be running to game after when the good run of fixtures come. So happy again with that pick and I get the 18 points from Trippier this game week here. We had Saka for his 13 points and also Madison for his 9 points and well Haaland captain for his 12 points. I had 7 points on the bench in Bowen. Somehow I just knew he was going to score, but I just didn't back him enough over Mbeumo Odegaard. So I lost out on that 7 points, and thankfully, I saw the red eyes in the Chelsea team, and I kept Costa on my bench for those negative points. I didn't have anybody contributing negatively to my side this game week.
If I go and let me lift down that Gusto pick this evening, I try to chill well and get myself in more trouble.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Chelsea is not the place to be right now. Chelsea is not the place to get assets right now at all. So happy to be in that 26th position and looking to really push up and give the Doc a run for his money at the top there. Moving down a little bit, we see in Arsenal FC 29th. Going down, we see in the boy Magnus at 36th position. He got a little red arrow this game week here, boy. We're going on to boy Magnus. And let me go down a little further down to the bottom here. We see in Sean Paddy, Paddy FC still at the bottom here, 4 points off from getting off the bottom. Still no Haaland on his team. Going with Nicholas Jackson. I'm not sure what's going on with Paddy, man. Paddy, what's going on? Yeah, let's try to get yourself out of that slump, man.
I talk to Paddy on the show right now, but he not listening, man.
Yeah, boy, Paddy like he busy. Paddy ain't studying me, man. And just above him, we have Carrot FC and Chapo FC version 2.0. What going on, Chapo? Chapo, you're sending your team and thing at the pre-season and we give you advice on the team and thing. What going on, Chapo? You're quite
I'll tell you what's going on with Chapo. Chapo remind me of TKR right now. Chapo just hurting your heart, man. You support Chapo with you from the jump. I know Chapo sending the team, he help out Chapo, but Chapo, right now you're hurting my heart with what you're doing, man.
Yeah, boy, Chapo. And Chapo, just interestingly enough, Chapo was one of the first people to sign up for the league and pay the money and sign up on everything. Chapo was one of the first people, I think probably the first or the second person to sign up for the league. So Chapo, as one of the initial members of the TT FPL Pro-League and free support, are supporting you big time here, man, Chapo. You had that finish at least in the top 50 man, of this league, man. Come on, Chapo.
Chapo, we rooting for you heavy here on proper things, so don't disappoint us.
Yeah, rooting heavy for your Chapo, and I see him at the bottom here too, somewhere close in 77, Universal Boss. He was one of the leaders at some point in time too. I don't know if you remember, I think Game Week 2 or Game Week 1, Universal Boss Randall. What went on there too by Randall, but yeah, to catch yourself and get yourself back up in them top rankings, man. So, but things looking tough, things looking good, things looking stiff in the TT FPL Pro-League. They have a lot of competition, a lot of good managers, and a lot of tactics going on left, right, and center in Game Week 6 and Game Week 7 coming here. We know the double is coming up. This Game Week 7 is the last game week that will be counting for the September Manager of the Month. Quickly put up the rankings here so you can see how things shaping up in the September Manager of the Month. You see myself, you see your boy in second position. And you're also seeing Mark Ramnut with his big 106 score. If he didn't get 106 out, I'd be leading the way right now. I might have had to take that trophy for myself, boy.
You hear that? Ezra spending money on trophies and blind. They keep them trophy for yourself.
Well, it's only fair if I was the best manager for September. I will deserve fair and square. So I'll be looking for that. I'll be looking for that prize in Game Week 7. And let me see how Game Week 7 shapes up. Thanks again to all the managers that joined. I just wanted to say it one more time on the show. Thanks everybody that joined. So yeah, we're looking. I don't know the competition stiff. I don't know how things looking. Only a few points separates the duck from the rest of the pack. So let me see how Game Week 7 shapes up, man. This is how the rankings looking in the league at the moment. At the end of Game Week 6.
Well, it was nice having you again on the show, Ezra. Always nice. When you show your face, that means the things going good, and I know you're coming with all the speed talk, as they say, because the group chat for the TT FPL Pro-League, it have a ranking thing where men say now, if you're not above me in the league, you can't talk to me.
Some people know.
So now you can chat to some people now. That's right. So, ladies and gents, thanks again for tuning into the program. Another week done gone now. We're going in now to Game Week 7. 10 episodes deep now. So we thank you for all the support, and don't forget to go down in the comment section and say what you have to say, whether it be good, bad, the ugly, you want grease talk, you want to say something that we missed. We appreciate all the comments. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe, because we have some hot comments, some hot shows coming your way next week to see what really happened for the, September manager of the month. And Ezra, all the best this game week. Hopefully you could cash in on the duck and take the trophy, or maybe the duck have another surprise for us. You never know.
Yeah. Thanks for having me on the show again, everybody. I appreciate the chance to be here and share my thoughts again. Hopefully, I could lock down that September Manager of the Month prize, and also the Stoner box that is provided by Stoner Pack. Thanks again to Stoner Pack for sponsoring this month's prize. So yeah, hopefully I could get through with it next week, man. So we'll see how that goes.
Ladies and gents, again, don't forget to leave a comment, to like and subscribe on the video, and to do proper things in all walks of life.